Peace Queen. It's Melissa Crawford of thequeencode.com. And my message today is part 4 in the Character of a Queen series. So just to do a quick recap, in part 1, I discussed how we show up in the world and having that mantra of always wearing your invisible crown. You know, it's important that we act from a point of excellence even when we think no one is watching. In part 2, I discussed personal responsibility. You know, realizing that we are to be responsible for the outcomes in our lives 100%. Everything that shows up in your life is a reflection of where you are and what you believe. And if there's something that is not serving you, then you have the power to change it by changing you. In part 3, I talked about self-worth. A queen is a woman of greater self-worth. And how do we increase our self-worth? Well, the first way to do that, and the most powerful way, is to go within. Because as we begin to go within, we see ourselves in the light of the Most High. We see ourselves as the Creator sees us. And that's where we develop that greater self-worth. We learn how valuable we are, and we begin to love ourselves in a greater way. So in part 4, I want to talk about the power of gratitude. Now, I know in this new age and with the New Thought movement, you may have heard a lot about gratitude, and I don't want you to be deceived by the simplicity of this message. You know, so many times we're looking for transformation in a big, bright, shiny object, or we're looking for liberation, you know, to come like fireworks. And the only thing that has the power to transform and liberate you is the truth. And so many times, the truth is so simple that it's overlooked. So I don't want you to be deceived by the simplicity of this message, because gratitude is so powerful. Being thankful for where you are right now and for what you have right now can change your life right now, can change your life in an instant, can change your life on a dime. You know, as women of great potential, it's very easy to sometimes get caught up in our dreams and our desires, and we're supposed to be connected to those. But the way to manifest those desires is to be grateful for what you have right now. You know, as it relates to character, as queens, we're not supposed to be in lack. If you're in lack, that's really a character issue. As queens, we are hardwired for prosperity and abundance. We're heiresses to the kingdom. I didn't say a kingdom, I said the kingdom. So we're not supposed to be in lack. But in order for us to access that divine inheritance, there are some keys that we have to cultivate. You know, I talked about in video 1, God being in the character building business. There are some keys that we have to cultivate, and it's those keys that unlock the Queen Code. And character and gratitude rather is one of those major keys. You know why? Because gratitude is the seed for more. Gratitude is the seed of abundance. If you plant gratitude, you get more. If you plant gratitude, you get abundance. So gratitude becomes the way for us to really elevate and to step up and to get in divine alignment to the queens that we're called to be. You know, there was a time in my life about 2 years ago where I went through this season of lack and I couldn't understand it. And as I began to go within to understand or try to understand what was going on in my life, I realized that 2 years prior, so 4 years ago, it was very different for me. And you may have heard the story about the $9.97. I didn't even have that in the bank, and you know, all the chaos that was in my life at the time. Well, what ended up happening was, you know, at that time when I was so low, you could have handed me a piece of paper and I would have been grateful and thankful, you know, for that. But as I really began to elevate and come out of that season of lack that I was in 4 years ago, abundance just began to show up every day. I was so grateful for everything, and abundance began to show up. And what happened eventually was that I became desensitized to the abundance. You know, there were things that would show up effortlessly in my life that someone else could have been praying years for. And after about 2 years of being on this really abundant and fulfilled path, I began to become desensitized. I would receive a gift or receive, you know, abundance, and it was like, oh, okay. And as a result, I went through a season of lack. And that season of lack was communication to me that you're out of divine alignment. Get back in alignment. You know, gratitude is something that we always have to live by. And so I did get back in alignment, and the abundance flowed once again. So being grateful is so key to you stepping into your power and reigning on your throne. And being grateful and having gratitude really is a way of life. If you were a fly on my wall, you know, in my office, you'll see me all day long, you know, just periodically stop and just raise my hands and just say, thank you for the abundance. Thank you for the abundance. Thank you for the abundance. Because as you do that, you begin to gain more access to the greater that you've been desiring. So gratitude is so important. It's free. All you have to do is open your mouth or give acts of gratitude. And you know, it's not so much about just expressing gratitude with your mouth. It's also about feeling grateful. This is a feeling universe. Emotions cause things to happen. Our thoughts are very powerful, but it's only when they have emotions behind them that they move, that things begin to manifest. So, you know, it's not about just verbally being grateful, but feeling grateful. You know, stopping and take a minute just for everything in your life. Even if you think it's not something good, there's somebody right now praying for the same thing that you're complaining about. And I have to remind my own self that every day, not to complain, because there's a time in your life where you might have been praying about the thing that you're complaining about. So gratitude becomes very important, and it really is a character issue. Now, it's interesting because gratitude is also a cycle. You know, they say that the least used phrase in the English language is not thank you, it's you're welcome. You're welcome. Gratitude is a cycle. You know, as we begin to give gratitude, you know, it's one thing when we give gratitude and someone thanks us. You know, many times we'll say, oh, no problem, or okay, But when someone thanks us, it's really important that we say you're welcome, because that really completes the cycle of gratitude. You're welcome is just as important as thank you. When you say thank you, you're giving. When you say you're welcome, you're receiving. And so again, you'll be so surprised how just doing this, you know, I don't know where you are today. You could be at work, you could be at home, but just beginning to periodically stop and be very thankful and feel thankful and say thank you and you're welcome, and really begin the cycle of gratitude in your life. It starts the cycle of greater opportunities, greater abundance, greater fulfillment in every area. So that's my message for you today, Queen. Again, I want you to really grab hold of this. Don't let the simplicity of it deceive you. You know, the keys to life are free, and they call them secrets, but they're hiding in plain sight. So this is one of them. So that's my message today. Now, in the meantime, until we talk again, I do have a wonderful gift for you. If you go over to my site at www.thequeencode.com, you can download a copy of my audio, Queen, You Were Born to Succeed. And in this character series, that's exactly what I am discussing with you. You were born to succeed. We are hardwired for success. The Queen Code is there in you. Right now, it just may be lying dormant. But these character issues and keys are the keys that unlocks the Queen Code. So I want you to go to the site, www.thequeencode.com, and get that free audio. And you know, really begin to apply some of those things in your life and watch your life transform. www.thequeencode.com, and I'll talk to you soon.